Hello and welcome back to Mexico News Network's Breaking News, broadcasting from El Dorado Royal Spa Resort by Carisma in the heart of Riviera Maya. Now don't forget to stay informed 24/7 by logging onto our website on www.mexiconewsnetwork.com, and also follow us on social networks on Facebook, Twitter, as well as Google+. You will find us as Mexico News Network. Now let's continue with more information. Zaha Hadid Architects, the firm of renowned architect Zaha Hadid, recently announced their very first project in Mexico, which is to be built in the city of Monterrey. The Esfera City Center residential project will have 981 units placed around the three sides of a rectangle. Each and every one of these units will feature a balcony, and residents will have access to a 30,000 square meter public park space, a coffee shop, a gym, a reading room, and an amphitheater to be used only for concerts. The design is the creation of Hadid herself, as well as Patrick Schumacher, who has been part of the team ever since 1988. Now, both have worked together and accomplished very important projects, such as the Maxi Center for Contemporary Art, as well as architecture in Rome, which won the prestigious Sterling Prize back in the year 2010. ZHA has in fact referenced the use of interlocking lattice geometries as a form of protection from sunlight while generating varied and dynamic displays of light as well as shadows. Even though this technique has been common in contemporary Mexican architecture, it was also used in many pre-Columbian structures. The layout, in fact, will feature crime prevention through environmental design, emphasizing the project's community-oriented approach. However, some of you must be wondering who Zaha Hadid in fact is. This Iraqi-British architect is considered one of the most important figures in contemporary architecture. She was born in Baghdad, Iraq, but has spent most of her life in London. Her designs are based on the deconstructivism movement, which is characterized by fragmentation and non-linear design, highlighting, of course, non-rectilinear shapes, using them to distort and to dislocate the structure of the structure. Hadid, in fact, studied mathematics at the American University in Beirut, and in 1972 she moved back to London, joining the Architecture Association, where she graduated in the year 1977, and in the year 1979 she founded her current London-based firm. Her entire work is very much known for being highly conceptual, and her designs span all over the globe. One of her best-known projects is the Al Wakra Stadium, where the World Cup 2022 is to take place in Qatar. Another great example of Hadid's work is the Investcorp building, a modern structure inside Oxford University, which, according to Hadid, quoted by the website Deezen, stands out for as a different character from the other university buildings, which allows them to be seen as separate elements, while at the very same time introducing a contemporary building that transmits the evolution of the college itself, the university and the city, from the past to the present and to the future. The Esfera City Center residential project in Monterrey is expected to be completed in the year 2018. Now, moving along to more information, the Spanish Royal House have announced that by the end of June or early July, the King of Spain, Felipe de Borbón, and his queen, Letizia, will make their very first official visit as reigning couple to Latin America and have chosen Mexico for the occasion. According to Mexican monthly daily Proceso, the announcement of the visit was made by the Spanish Minister of Culture, Mr. José María Lasalle Ruiz, during his visit to Guadalajara to inaugurate the 25th edition of the Cervantino. Now, this event commemorates the 400th anniversary of the publication of the second part of Don Quixote de la Mancha. Mr. Lasalle Ruiz said that the Spanish monarchs chose Mexico as the destination for their first state visit to Latin America because of the strong bonds that link these two nations. Additionally, they hope that after this visit, diplomatic relationships would be very much strengthened. King Felipe VI has already visited Mexico during his reign, when he traveled to Veracruz last December to attend the Ibero-American Summit of Heads of State and Government. The official schedule of the monarch's visit has yet to be released by the Spanish royal house, so we'll definitely keep you posted. Now moving along to another great Mexican character, Father Alejandro Solalinde Guerra, who was born on March 19, 1945 in Texcoco in the state of Mexico. A Catholic priest who has been fighting for the rights of the immigrants over the past 8 years, and he is currently the coordinator of the South Pacific Human Mobility Ministry of the Mexican Bishopric and director of Hermanos en el Camino, roughly translated in English as Brothers on the Road. This is a shelter that provides Central American immigrants with humanitarian aid as well as education. For over 30 years, Father Solalinde worked as chief of parish in several churches around Mexico after being ordained as a presbyter by the Bishop of Toluca, Arturo Vélez. In the year 2006, he founded Hermanos en el Camino in Ixtepec City, Oaxaca. The shelter has been taking care of thousands of migrants, mostly from Central American countries, offering them a safe place to stay, food, medical as well as psychological care, and legal aid. The city of Ixtepec has 24,000 inhabitants and stands between the Pacific Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico, with migrants coming in from the south. Now, the majority of these migrants arrive by stowing away on top of freight trains coming from neighboring states like Chiapas. Father Solalinde has a bachelor's degree in history and psychology from the Autonomous University of Mexico State, the UNAM, as well as a master's degree in systemic family therapy. In fact, he has been awarded with many distinctions through time. In the year 2011, he was awarded with the Emilio Krieger Medal, a title granted by the National Association of Democratic Lawyers, ANAD in Spanish, as well as the Peace and Democracy Human Rights Award, along with the Paz Lergo Prize for Democracy and Human Rights and the Lion Heart, an acknowledgement from the University of Guadalajara Federation of University Students. Now, in the month of May of the year 2012, Father Solalinde had to leave Mexico due to a series of threats targeting his humanitarian work. However, soon after 2 months of exile, he came back to Oaxaca and demanded that politicians make amends for the errors and abuses committed during their respective incumbencies. Father Solalinde has stated the greatest challenge that he himself must overcome is the intimidation, the harassment, and the constant lack of respect from people who do not want his work of helping migrants to succeed. Many local authorities, gangs, and drug traffickers themselves would love to free themselves from the defenders of human rights. Incredible and a moving story. Thank you for joining us. I was your host, Elisa Carballo, and we'll be back with more information next time. But before we go, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, as well as Google+. You'll find us as Mexico News Network. And don't forget, stay informed 24/7 by logging on to our website on www.mexiconewsnetwork.com. We'll see you next time.
Audio Jungle.